The Abandoned Daughter by Mary Wood. Read by Becky Hindley. Part 1. France, Belgium and London, 1918. Ella and Paddy. A desperate situation. Chapter 1. A cry of pain cut through the air as Ella and Jim walked past the tent ward that stood on the edge of Field Hospital 16 in Dieppe, France. Ella heard these cries every day in her job as a voluntary aid nurse, but she never got used to it. A shudder trembled through her body. The war had raged for 4 long years, and she wondered if all the young men she'd nursed during that time would be engraved forever on her mind. Jim's hand tightened on hers, bringing her back to the present moment and causing her unease. Yes, she'd been attracted to him when they had first met, and he'd become a large part of her life, but her feelings had changed over the years, and now she only wanted to be friends. She shouldn't have agreed to walk with him. She should have said her goodbyes amidst the comings and goings of the busy hospital, but Jim had been insistent. Now, as they headed away from the safety of being with other people, she feared he would try to make advances towards her, and she didn't want that. She wanted their parting to be a good one. If only Jim would accept that I can't love him the way he wants me to. As an ambulance driver, Jim ferried the wounded to hospital from the battlefields. Tall and handsome, he had a Cockney humour that endeared him to all who came across him, and he was one of the bravest men Ella knew. But as time went on, his advances had become a nuisance, and yet he'd been a constant in her life, a distraction from all the horror. Warding him off had become a part of their relationship, as had long chats and sharing jokes, and worrying about him when the fighting was heavy and Jim was in the thick of it. And yes, the feelings of happiness and relief when he showed up, grinning as if his smile was a permanent fixture, like one of those rag dolls with a sewn-on look of happiness. A penny for him, Ella? Sorry, I was just thinking about my new placement. It was a fib, but she couldn't share her true thoughts. I was wondering what Hospital 36 will be like, and thinking what a coincidence it is that I should have started my war service in Belgium, and am now returning there for what looked like the end of the war. It could well be. News is that the push forward is going well, but it will be dangerous and harrowing there. Not that I'm in the business of scaring you, but Roosbrugge is very close to the front line. Well, I'm used to that. I haven't forgotten what it was like when the fighting was a few fields away from here. No, but at least we were together then. Now you will be far away from me, and that's cutting me in two. Oh, Jim, I don't know what to say. You know that I can't... Well, let's not get into that. Besides, I will have others with me. The team that I work with are all going. The surgeons, Alan Matthews and Daniel Fraser, and Connie Knight, the senior theatre nurse. That's something, then. But this is all so sudden. I feel as though half of me is being torn from me. Jim, No, don't say it. We'll see, eh? Let's go to the cliff top and have some time alone together before you go. Instinct saw Ella trying to wriggle out of this, as she reminded Jim that she had to get back to her duties. Just one more stroll there together, eh, girl? Go on, you know you can't resist me. His wink, as he said this, made Ella laugh, and she felt herself relax. She supposed there could be no harm in a last walk together to end their relationship, as that is what it would be, an end. Because despite Jim having given her his home address, she knew she would never contact him again. This decision didn't sit easily with her, as she did value his friendship, but she knew it was the kindest thing she could do for him. Jim, you're incorrigible. Don't you mean irresistible? Nerves clenched her stomach at the note she detected in his voice. But no, she was being silly. Yes, Jim wanted more than she could give, but he knew how she felt and he respected her. There was nothing to be afraid of. And although Ella knew her rejection of Jim hurt him, she also knew it was the right thing to do. One day he would meet someone who could love him as he deserved to be loved.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?